A Russian attack has wrecked this maternity hospital in Ukraine's Zaporizhia and the surrounding neighborhood. 9 people are injured. Pregnant women and medical staff have taken to the hospital's basement for shelter. One of the patients here recounts the moment the strike hit.
I was lying on the bed and heard a buzzing sound, then looked out the window and saw it starting to come down directly onto the maternity ward. I shouted to the whole ward and we ran out because it was flying towards us. As soon as we ran into the corridor, there was an explosion.
The Trump administration said last week it had convinced Russia to stop strikes like this for a week. But the attacks keep coming. Photos released Sunday show the aftermath of a strike on a busload of mine workers in the Dnipro region. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the attack, which officials say killed 15 people.
Today's Russian attack on a bus in the Dnipro region is a crime, a show-stopping crime, which once again demonstrates that Russia is responsible for the escalation. The evil must stop.
These strikes come just days before talks between Ukraine, Russia, and the U.S., meant to help bring an end to the war. Just days ago, a former Russian president spoke of a quick military victory for Russia.
It is completely obvious that the fact of a military victory is very important, and victory can already be seen in a number of indicators. But it is no less important to think about what comes next.
And there are signs that as the war drags on, Russia is drawing even closer to China, which some in NATO have called an enabler of the war, despite its official neutrality. China's top diplomat Wang Yi met with Russia's security chief Sergei Shoigu in Beijing and said Sino-Russian ties could, quote, break new ground this year. The two agreed, among other things, on China's claim to Taiwan. But for people in Ukraine, it's as much a fight against the cold of winter as it is Russian invaders. Ukraine and Russia had earlier agreed to stop hitting each other's energy sectors, but the damage is done. Around 1,000 Kyiv apartment blocks were without heat as of Sunday, amid sub-zero temperatures. Still, some Ukrainians are finding ways to endure the hardship and make the best of crisis.
It's warmer because we're moving around, thanks to the people. Thanks to the fact that we're coming up with activities to do. At home, there's no electricity or heating. My house doesn't have gas, and when there's no electricity, there's nothing. No water, no heating, nothing. That's why we entertain ourselves like this.
There's also an impromptu dance party. And a sense of defiance.
There was no electricity at home for 29 hours. It was cold, so we had lunch here. We made ice cream in the snow with the children. And even when it's cold outside, there's this light inside that warms you up, friends to unite with. And it's moments like this that you think, to hell with you. You won't break us.
And so civilians caught up in Europe's biggest conflict since World War II are doing their best to carry on with life, hoping this week's talks will bring results. Luffy Lee and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.